रेडियो जिंदगी 1170 AM पे वेलकम लिसनर्स, मैं हूं आपके साथ में ईरा एंड दिस इज गोना बी एन अमेजिंग शो. वेलकम टू आवर ब्रांड न्यू शो जिसका नाम है प्रेम कनेक्शन, जहां पे हमारे साथ में जुड़ती हैं दो आंटीज जो लेके आती हैं डबल द एडवाइस एंड डबल द ट्रबल. यस, दिस शो प्रेम कनेक्शन, वी हैव रेनू आंटी एंड वी हैव कमल आंटी ऑन एयर विद अस, जो इस शो में हम हर हफ्ते एक नई स्टोरी लेके आएंगी. They are going to be bringing us every week a new story about relationships and about finding love. So let's hear it for Reno auntie and Kamal auntie. Aunties, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Auntie Ira. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Everybody's been looking forward to this. I'm Renu Auntie and I have with me my partner in crime, Kamal Auntie. Welcome, Kamal.
Hi, welcome everybody. And we're so excited to be here.
And if for those who don't know and you've not been following us on Facebook, Prem Connect is actually going to be a new private matrimonial agency coming up, but that'll open in Diwali. We're not yet open right now. But what we are doing is we're building up the hype towards that. And you probably already met our two old BBGs, Karnel Kaur and Basanti Kaur, who are on YouTube actively promoting our show. So if you don't and haven't watched our YouTube, please find us. It's Prem Connection on YouTube and you'll be able to meet Karnel and Bibi Basanti Kaur. On that note, this show is about every Thursday evening, we're going to be bringing different stories to you. We're going to talk about love, how to find love, those who may have lost love, how do you find love again? Everything and anything to do with love and relationships. So we have with us a very special guest, and I'd like to introduce all our guests actually. So you've already met Kamal Auntie with us, and then we have Renu Auntie in one of her relationships had a Sheena baby. So you have Sheena baby over there. That's Sheena Dillon. Welcome, Sheena.
I'm happy to be here.
And Sheena's here to correct the two aunties whenever we give the wrong advice. You know how kids love to correct their parents. They just, especially Punjabi kids always find everything wrong with their parents. So that's why Sheena is here, to always correct and criticize us. And then, of course, we have with us a beautiful, lovely couple who live here in the Bay Area. And we are going to welcome them and we're going to listen to their love story, their Prem Kahani. So Sheena and Laduan, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's wonderful to see both of you, and I know you have created a beautiful little product, a daughter as well, and we're going to be meeting her at the end of the show, and we'd love to, I'm sure we can hear her later on, but don't worry if she does speak at the back or sing at the back, that's just her giving her own ideas and input. You know, yeah, children like to start early.
Maybe she's actually correcting her parents already.
Yes, she is. So Sheena and Laduan, you know, the reason I invited you is for, of course, Sheena, you've been on one of my other shows prior to this before, so you were just a great speaker and I really wanted to have you back on. So my first question to you is, how did you both meet? We're naturally curious. I'm one of those aunties that wants to know because maybe you can tell us a little bit about where you're from, where Laduan is from, and how did you both meet?
So I am originally from Fiji and I moved here in 2007. And I've been working in the medical field along the years. And then in 2014, I got hired at a hospital and we had this big orientation at work and apparently he was in the orientation too, but I didn't see him. And he got hired a month before me at the same hospital. And I've been trying to apply to that hospital for years and I finally got a job. And I started off working there and then he would come up to the front and say good morning to everybody just because he's a nice guy. And I always ignored him. I was just super excited about getting a new job and I wasn't interested in like talking to a guy. And I was like, oh my God, I have a new job. Let me just enjoy this. So he would say hi to me and I would look away. Every time he tried to talk to me, I looked away.
Were you trying to play hard to get?
And then I let him.
Wow.
So,
go ahead.
My name is Laduan Story. So I'm born and raised in California and also working in the medical field at a hospital. So I'll tell my side of the story. So I get a job at a hospital and I'm working there and there's an orientation for all the new hires. And there's, maybe 100, there's a lot of people there. And during the orientation, everybody stands up and introduces themselves. So I stand up and introduce myself, and then, all of a sudden, Sheena stands up and, she says her name. We're working in the same department in the same building. So I was like, oh, okay. Like I make the connection. She does not remember me there at all. I'm the only other person working in the same department as her.
Was it love at first sight?
I was attracted to her. She's very pretty and everything. And but yeah, she did not talk to me. Like she didn't notice me. She was very like standoffish. I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, hey, but that's essentially how we met. And so we were working in the same department, in the same building and everything. And there was a big freeway construction at the time. So one day we're going to work and I'm taking the side streets to avoid all this traffic. And I come, near where the hospital is. I'm at a stoplight. And I look in my rearview mirror and who do I see behind me but Sheena driving. And she's, of course, in her own world.
Ignoring you. Ignoring you.
Poor thing.
And then next thing I know, I get a boom right in the back of my car at a red light.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
That's a good hello.
It's so filmy.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I didn't know it was him.
She just hit my car. And like I pull over to the side. She pulls over. She comes out the car. She's hysterical. And I'm just like, there was a red light. What were you doing? And we, at this time, we're just a few weeks into the working at our new jobs. I was like, it's like 7:56. We can handle this later. So, let's not be late. And so I park and I call my parents. It's like, hey, I just got like a fender bender. She works here, this and that. And they're like, well, did you get her information? I was like, no, we work together. It's fine. By the time I finish that phone call and get to my office, everybody in the whole building knows. And they're coming, Laduan, are you okay? We heard what happened. I was like, that just happened like 5 seconds ago.
So who went and told everybody?
And so I'm just like, yeah, the new girl hit me basically. And so
And then we had to start talking because I had to become his friend.
I had to exchange information with her, right? So and the car was
That's
okay.
good home address too, huh?
Yeah. So
Sheena, did you actually start talking to him to be his friend because you were feeling guilty, or to be his friend so that he just, lets it go?
No, just because I was guilty.
Because you were guilty. Okay. And then
I was really embarrassed. I was like, I've been ignoring this guy for almost 2 weeks now, and now I hit his car.
so you knew you were ignoring him. So it was intentional. Did you, aunties, do you see this?
Yeah, I'm just thinking
we
whether
are. We're taking notes.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether, they always say Indian girls are so full of drama. Is this what the drama is?
We have Laduan answer that. Are Indian girls really full of drama? What do you think?
Well, at least I wasn't on the way to the airport to catch a flight and she was running after me and hit me.
Like the Bollywood movie.
But this was pretty movie-like too, the girl, fender bender, the whole thing happening, and then, okay, let's talk about it. So nice.
Yeah. But no, that's essentially how we met, and it's a great story, and she could have just said hello, but this works out too.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So all those who are listening, you're listening to Prem Connection. And yes, ladies, if you haven't met anybody, just go to a stoplight and do a fender bender, just like Sheena did.
Yes.
Follow the cute
and
guy.
then-
That's what you need to do. You need to follow the cute guy, but just make sure that he's going to be as nice as Laduan,
First to ignore them for
Also-
2 weeks. Ignore them for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Ignore
Also,
them
you
for
gotta
2
have
weeks.
good insurance, right?
Yes, good
I'm
insurance.
not sure ignoring for 2 weeks is going to be a good idea because most guys don't have much patience. Sheena lucked out. Sheena lucked out.
See,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. If you ignore somebody for 2 weeks and he still talks to you, he still comes and says hi, he is the one, ladies. And then the final test is
I
bump his
actually
car.
made him wait a whole year. He asked me out after that, and I said no, and then I friend zoned him for a whole year.
Oh my
But wait a minute.
God.
So wait a minute.
Wow,
You
you're a tough one.
you
are
hit
a
his
tough
car,
one.
you damage his car, and then you're just cool friends. So no dating? Really? No dating for 1 year? Wow.
And then friend zoning him. Oh my.
I wanted to get to know him. So
So what's friend zoning? These two aunties don't understand that terminology. What's friend zoning?
telling him that I want to be friends with you right now.
But did you really want to
and then-
just be friends?
No, I started to like him. I admired him a lot. I thought he was very good looking, but I wanted to get to know him. I didn't want to rush into anything.
Good advice. Yep.
And then it's, what's the next phase of, after friend zoning? Is it talking and?
No, friend zoning is talking.
No,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We don't know the language, Raina.
Friend zoning is probably beating around the bush and not really coming to the point.
Right. Then there's the talking part, Renu.
Yeah, I know. I
talking
never
part
get
is
understood that part. You know, when you ask the girls, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just talking. Wait, haven't you been talking for 10 years already?
Right.
Okay, so
No, the other thing is when in our day and age, it used to be a click. If you click, you were fine. And nowadays there's so many steps that we are sort of learning what the lingo is.
so you waited for that click. So then let me ask you. So I'll get straight to the point, you know. So Sheena, you're Indian, right? And Laduan, where are you from originally? American? What's your origins?
American, African American.
American, okay. So Sheena, did you ever have the pressure that from family that you have to marry an Indian guy? Nope.
No.
Okay, so
That's
you were one of the lucky ones where you were not given this long list of the system, and then you had a caste and all this other little minute details that came after it. Okay.
Yeah.
So no issues in terms of that at all.
Miss Renu, she never had somebody, no, she did not, probably her mother was not at the door holding a broom, tell me the truth, tell me the truth.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
my mom actually, I told my mom about him and he wanted to meet my mom. So before we got married, I think 4 years ago, he said, let's go to Fiji. I want to meet your mom. So we flew to Fiji and he met
Before we
my
got
mom.
engaged.
Before we got engaged. Apparently he went to ask my mom for my hand and I had no clue.
Oh, how sweet is that?
Oh,
Yeah.
and he went to Fiji and he's been watching a lot of Bollywood movies with me. I will never forget this. It really like touched my heart and my mom's too, because my mom started crying. When we went to Fiji, when we entered the door and my mom first saw him, he went and touched her feet because he's been watching movies too.
Ah, so
Wow.
he knew how to impress.
You know,
That's
yeah.
very good.
That's a
Very,
straight
very
10 right
good.
there. That's a straight 10. Very cool. Did you really intentionally want to learn more about the culture? Did you make the effort? So probably that's my question is, we have, you know, different races, well, you're Christian, are you Christian as well?
Yes.
So we didn't have an issue of religion here. We have different races here. Did you make an effort, Laudon? Did you want to learn about the Indian culture? Did you want him, Sheena, did you want him to learn about the Indian culture?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
he's still learning.
Yeah, I mean, I knew some Indian culture before even meeting her, and I like the food. So
There's a big plus.
watching movies and studying the cultures and
Learning the language a
kind
little
of learning
bit.
the language and just having an appreciation from where she comes from. And when you're married, it's nice to have people from different cultures because you're constantly learning new things. And I feel like that's a real advantage that people often overlook when they say, oh, you have to marry somebody from, you know, exactly from where we're from or, you know, things like that. But every day I learn something new about her, and it's just that ongoing process.
So Sheena, let me ask you, how about the community? How does the community deal with that? Because, you know, we can be a very judgmental community. I'm sure you know that. South Asians are famous for, you know, having prejudices and judgments and stigmas.
I'm pretty sure I've been judged because every time we've been to an Indian restaurant to eat, we've been stared down at like I did something wrong. I've gotten that.
What about in Fiji when you took him back home?
No, he blended in because native Fijians look like African Americans.
Mhm.
So everyone just loved him like their own. He didn't stand out or anything.
So you probably had more of that experience over here versus there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, do you find anything now in your daily lives, you know, anybody with prejudice or anything like that, or do you come across that?
No, I don't.
How about your other Indian? Yeah. How about your other
Yeah.
Indian girlfriends?
My Indian girlfriends?
Yeah.
Oh, they always ask me like, oh, how did your mom accept this? Because my mom would kill me if I brought a black guy home. Because when he met me, he was a little nervous too to even ask me out, because he said he would always look at Indian girls and think they were so pretty. But because some of his friends had dated Indian girls before and they know the parents never accepted them, so he was like, I never even thought about it because I was nervous.
What would your advice be out there to young people that want to date out of their race and have parents that are very objectionable? What would you advise them, Sheena? You obviously had a very understanding mom, but what about people who don't have understanding parents?
I'd say just go for it. Listen to your heart and go for it, because at the end of the day, your parents still love you no matter what, and they'll come around.
That's so
But
true.
you want to be happy. It's about your life. Parents are not going to be there forever. This is your future. You're going to start a new life with somebody else. So just listen to your heart and go for it.
Good. Yeah,
What
it's so
about,
true.
go ahead, Kamal.
Yeah, it's so true. I think, parents do accept. We've had families that didn't accept, and then when things came to the crunch, they did turn around and accept. So I think, it's very nice that what you're saying is to accept and go for it.
Yeah,
So,
and
Sheena, young girls like you today, smart, pretty, educated young girls, struggle to find nice matches. I mean, it's a big struggle. Wherever I look around, I see so many young, stunningly smart, pretty Indian girls, and they just can't seem to find matches. What's the problem? You're married, you lucked out. How are these young ladies meant to meet nice people? I mean, you lucked out at work or having a fender bender, but
Not everybody gets that opportunity.
not everybody lucks out that way. What's your advice out there?
need to
Because there's
be
so many
more
apps and stuff.
open-minded.
Sorry?
I think girls just need to be more open-minded. I think a big part of it is the family too, the pressure from the family that they can't date anybody like out of their culture and race. So even if they do want to explore and like somebody else, they actually keep it to themselves. They don't want to take that step because they don't want to have drama at home with their parents or get kicked out from the house, because most Indian people still live at home.
Right.
I think it's the family that, like, the pressure from the family is probably the biggest thing. And then I also feel like girls these days are scared. I think a lot of people have trust issues too when it comes to relationship. Maybe they had a bad experience in the past and they're scared to, like, they don't want to trust again. But I'd say it's life. You just got to keep moving forward. You let go, you move on. It's a new day. It's a new beginning.
So, Laduan, I'm interested. I've asked about the prejudices that she could have had. What about your side?
From my side, I mean,
But your parents were excited and
oh
everything.
yeah, oh
They
yeah.
had no
There was
problem?
No problem.
When I brought her by, they said she's the one.
The
Oh,
first
that's
time,
really nice.
they said I was the answer to their prayers
Yes.
for him.
Oh wow, that's very sweet.
Yeah, so they were very, very accepting.
They are the best. My in-laws are, I'm telling all the girls out there, go date whoever you want to in other race. You won't have the sas bahu drama. You won't have any.
You heard that, young ladies? I'm sure some parents are going to go turn the radio off, but no,
Off.
you heard that. No sas bahu drama.
I
Yes,
have
save
the
that for the
best
movies.
in-laws. They treat me like their own daughter. They don't look at me like, oh, you're married to my son, and they love me like their own child.
That is
That's
wonderful.
I didn't grow up with the dad. My dad left us when I was little. So having my father-in-law, he's filled all the void that I've had all my life.
Yeah, I noticed that you were addressing your mom, so I was actually that's wonderful to know that you have that kind of a relationship and that you can say that. And did you ever, before you met Laduan, did you ever try any apps or marriage sites or nope?
I was always scared to do that.
What was your fear?
Just meeting somebody crazy that might kidnap me or murder me. I don't know.
She was kidnapped.
I don't know. I had trust issues.
Great. Well, we're almost at the end of our show. We would love to see the fruits of your labor.
Oh, there you go.
So we'd love to meet with her. And for those who've just tuned in, this is our 30-minute Prem Connection show every week on Radio Zindagi. Today was our first show, and we brought with us Sheena and Laduan, who talked about how they met. And, you know, that was a fender bender. It doesn't happen to everyone. And how she has managed to build her relationship up. And while he's getting your fruits of labor, Sheena, have you found in marriage, you know, people sometimes struggle. They always say the first 7 years are very difficult. What's your advice to couples out there that are newlyweds and they're battling different cultures, different races, differences? What's your advice as we get your little girl?
I think it's important to have friendship in your relationship. No matter what, just because you're married, it doesn't mean you have to like start acting a certain way, or you have to always keep dating no matter what. No matter how many years you've been married, you have to still keep dating, like act like you're still dating each other.
How do you do that when you have she's adorable. What's her name?
Samira.
Samira?
Aw,
Hi, Samira. Hi.
so cute.
That's adorable. Well, there you go. So Sheena mentioned to everybody you have to keep dating. So how do you keep dating when you have a little one over there? Do you take her on your dates?
Whenever she goes to sleep, we have wine nights, we make dinner, and we sit on the dining table and eat dinner together and talk about our day. So we take a little time out whenever she's sleeping.
That's wonderful.
Very nice.
Well, we want to begin by thanking both of you for coming on our show. We really appreciate you taking the time. I know this is dinner time, bedtime, and it's been wonderful. And we want to wish you the very best. Lots of love, happy marriage, lots of Prem connection to both of you. And hopefully next time we bring you back on the show, we have more fruits that we can meet. Thank you so much. No, thank you very much. Lovely meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
Yes,
Ira, let me ask you, what are your thoughts about the drama? Indian drama, we talk about, you know,
Auntie,
how would you
don't
go
get me
home and
started,
say,
Auntie, how much time do you have?
never,
Well, we have some time. We are
have
ready
some
to
time.
listen.
it's,
That's where the drama
That was-
began, and that's where the drama ended. So yes.
Kamal, your thoughts? I mean, you've introduced so many people. How have you ever dealt with a race?
I mean, I have my one son married to a Caucasian, and you know, we accepted, and it was great. I mean, she's a wonderful person. I think you have to look at a person as a person, not, you know, what their race, what you know, religion or anything. I think you have to step aside and do that. And once you accept things, I think it's very easy to love a person and look at the person for what they are, not have your preconceptions, you know, about a human being. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to be very open and accept.
Thank you so much. And for those who are listening in, we're getting ready to wrap up our show. And this week we brought a couple that talked about how they met through their fender bender and their love relationship. Next week, we have a guest, and he's going to talk about how he's learning to live and love again. He lost his wife right after they got married at a very young age, very suddenly. And that's a big shock because nobody ever expects that. And he's going to talk about how he is learning to live and love again. And that'll be next Thursday night at 7 o'clock, same place, same time, with our favorite RJ, Ira. And
Thank you, Miss Renu, and thank you, Kamal Auntie. Thank you, Renu Auntie. Thank you, Sheena, for being here. Thank you to our guests as well, and thank you, listeners and viewers. Also, if you have a special Prem Connection story, and if you'd like to be a part of the show, share your story, send an email to 2. That's number 2. Aunties, AUNTIES, 2 aunties double advice @gmail.com, or just look her up, look up Miss Renu on Facebook. You'll find all this information on her Facebook page, and you'll be able to, you know, you'll know what to do. So thank you, ladies, once again.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
I'll see you next week. Fun, great show. Fun.
See you,
Thank
Auntie.
you so
See you,
much.
Sheena. See you, Ira. Thank you.